What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. Quick Monad update. I think what these guys are doing has to be highlighted, particularly if you are an investor going into Monad as one of your layer ones. So we did drop this information in the VIP community. I'm also doing this video largely for the community and what it means and give my take. I'll also take you through the macro because I think right now, crypto macro is very important with the yields, what's going on. I'll give you my 2 cents on that. Smash a like anyway. Welcome back to the channel and let's get straight into Monad. So the foundation completed a liquidity program which the foundation offered to buy back locked Monad from certain early investors. And of course, Monad at a discount reflecting the applicable 4-year lockup. Now, this is very bullish because what Monad clearly are doing is recognizing the incoming unlock in November, which more than doubles the circulating supply, is a potentially huge headwind when it comes to the token economics. So nearly all holders approach declined to participate. The program is now concluded, and that is pretty good. And in my opinion, there's, of course, other updates as well within Monad, and I'll take you through that. But buybacks, lockups, burns, I love that because it always tells you what's going on within a major ecosystem when they really are switched on, especially in a bear market. Monad remains a small market cap with a relatively high FDV. And its first cycle, of course, it's never been in a bull market, launched in November after, a month or so after we topped in the last bull market. So this would be considered as its first major cycle from top to bottom, a 4-year process. Of course, we're in a bear market right now, so many people don't really look into this. But that news was very much appreciated. The price went up. It had a little rally, still holding up quite nicely. But it all depends on what BTC does. If you are a bottom hunter, like most people are obviously looking for, the entire retail market thinks we are going to $40,000 or whatever. That tells me market makers may just decide to do something else completely. But Monad's lows still remain pretty much below 2 cents at 0.16, 1.5 cent, just above 1.5 cent. So you could be patient with it. Do not rush to put everything in at once. Of course, it's been a year. We are about 50 days or so out from the end of the bear market. And for that to happen, you need to, if you've DCA'd in, let's say you get paid monthly or whatever, and you bought chunks here and there, I think that's the best approach for crypto in general. If BTC comes down further, then you will have major opportunities on the downside. That's why the DXB crypto community, I'm advocating a lot of people to still hold a decent size dry powder, right? Don't put everything in at once because you will not be able to take any advantage. Should the market go tits down, tits up, you're not going to get any benefit. And for me, the true feeling of being in crypto is when you have those major red days. The argument is not if the bottom is in and if it's not. You build up a reserve capital and you take advantage into the you buy heavy when we have a major BTC capitulation or some kind of a macro event, which the market will throw up. But like I said, Bitcoin has been in a bear market almost a year now. We are going to be approaching October very soon. In addition to that, I did post this for the team. Fed hike expectations collapse further, but long-term bonds yields are moving in the opposite direction. I won't keep you too long here. So Fed hikes are becoming, they've been priced out of the market. September rate hikes are still around 64%. But after a weaker jobs data and inflation, those odds have collapsed roughly, or was at from 62 at the height to 32% where we are now. The US 30 is where the action is. For the first time in a long time, it's well above 5.3%. And a 30-year at a 19-year high. This is very important, guys. Highest level since 2007. There are two major catalysts as the reason why this is happening. There's more capital competition, and that impacts, of course, crypto too. The US government plans to borrow roughly $739 billion this quarter alone. We're starting to see big, big caps like, stocks like Amazon, Alpha, Meta, hyperscalers are already issuing close to 220 billion in bonds. Okay. So as we see the deficit here, right, long-term inflation still alive. We're still going to be well above the Fed's 2% target, in my opinion, right now, due to Brent or oil or energy. Energy markets are still heated. Oil above $90, $93 today. And basically, the Fed may not stop tightening while the bond markets continue to squeeze the financial markets. So Japan, if you haven't seen the news, Japan's also been in the headlines lately. But what we're going to get is the Fed minutes, and later this month we're going to have Jackson Hole. We saw last year, kind of Jerome Powell concluding his Jackson Hole visit, and of course at the time during last summer is when we had our altcoins major top. Ethereum topped in during the summer, and of course ever since then it's been crazy. So Germany as well, borrowing costs hit 15-year high. Of course, these markets are interlinked. 2027 net financing requirements is still a problem for the Eurozone. Bitcoin predictions, I've put that into the Discord anyway. But major warning, diesel prices. So cash is optionality, and of course, if you're still in this market, you must have cash around, right? The diesel crack spreads, and they've surged, of course, to a record of $102. The nominal range is normally $20 to $40. Even in the 2023 crisis peak was roughly $90, right? So that's what's going on. And in my opinion, you should have some cash, and we could have a bull trap up to $77,000. These are all predictions in my wave analysis here. So yeah, we're not fully bullish yet. If anyone's telling you that bottom conversation, this is not how you should be approaching crypto. Crypto is about opportunities and patience. Deploy both, and you will be incredibly well off. But the opportunities are there. If you're dollar cost averaging slowly, you should have built or should be building respectable bags. Most importantly, keep some cash. Check out Monad as well, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.